Alright. Big red. Oh, I'm still on frickin' Steam. Get out. Can't you hear me knocking? Chilling on stream. Shades. Link. Yeah. What time is it? Up. Let's see if we got any action. Up. 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 Yo, what's going on, brother? How you guys doing today? Big red, but at least it's Friday, right? Look at that, VIX. Woo, 20%. The dollar just started raging right out of the gate. Look at that. Look at that. I mentioned in the Discord as well, there's a trend line. You can see I have a trend line up there at 100.4 roughly. And we may continue to climb. I really thought like here and then here we were going to have like a little rejection and a little pullback. But it happened. Check in some of our names here. Yeah, we like the blackberry. Yep, yep. Nokia with the little pullback. Whew. Whew. Oh, baby. Hello, baby. How's this one doing? Oh, got smacked up. Big spike up there. Right back to that trend line. Yeah, shit. Shit. The question is it going to make a higher high? But, I mean, here, and again, you know, it's really a toss-up because here you can see the 10-year, we got back to this trend line, which was kind of this support going back to early May 25, cutting up across, and then we dropped there September of 25, didn't retest until March of this year, right? So we had an immediate run-up, retest, and then you can see we broke straight up through it and then continued for about 2 or 3 sessions. Barely wanted to break the 20-day, it looks like, and now the big candle back up to the trend line. And you know, I don't even know if we can trust this, in my opinion, right? Because technically this is a bad thing, right? I mean, we have our, little triangle over the last couple of years, and then we technically just broke up, came back to retest, we're staying above, right? So yields up, stocks down, right? So in theory, on paper, it looks pretty negative. However, in my opinion, is a premature break, right? Is a premature break. And we've seen premature breaks happen time and time again. So I actually think that even if they try to keep it up going into next week for a day or two, I do think it drops and it comes back down and it gets to the apex going into July and August. I think it gets back inside of this symmetrical triangle. Of course, again, I'm trying to predict. But based on that, and it's essentially, of course, the same pattern pretty much. Again, this is not perfect, but, well, actually, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Wait a minute, wait a minute. September of 24. September, right, September 24. Yeah, see, so the 10-year actually looks like, I mean, again, technically you can say premature break. So you may actually see a rejection now, in my opinion, on the 10-year. The 20-year, again, we have a premature break technically, so I actually do think it drops back down as well. You know what it is, again, we had so many days throughout the week even where we went from red to green, and we had these random surges. And this is what I always say. This is what I always bring up and talk about. When you rise for no reason, you will inevitably need to have days like today. It's inevitable. And it's just very unfortunate because we had a pretty good week all around. I know a lot of people were pumped. I mean, their tech names kept climbing. We had, again, our under-the-radar stocks, Nokia, BlackBerry, all these climbing up, hitting highs. So, we were rolling on all cylinders. And then that's what I mean. When you make it better than it is, the truth has to come out every now and then. And this is what happens. Yeah, I mean, I like all those stocks, I do. You know that. Uh, no, I don't know. I don't know if I would risk that going into Monday, in my opinion. Hate this stock. Technically above average volume. You got LAC back to sub 5. You got Fubo back to sub 10. That's it. Sometimes you gotta show people the truth on a Friday, and they can't handle the truth. I do like this DraftKings. Alright, I'm setting up that potential triangle, looks like. I mentioned that. Dollar just raging, the raging Cajun. Yes, and I mentioned in Discord as well, good old West, Mr. West. Can't keep a good man down. So it looked like, this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting, it's gonna, I guess, continue to keep channeling here, but then it really should pop up to this line. I'm looking for about 9 1/3. Looking good, Billy Ray. So yeah, this is what happens again. They decided to bring the dollar up. Strong jobs numbers. Trump's out here like, stock should be up. I thought we would bounce. I will say I thought we would bounce. But yeah, this is what happens. Dollar spikes up. I mean, they're beating the crap out of commodities and metals right now, as you see. Oil down 3%, gold 3%, silver was down over 7%. LAC again, right? Materials, minerals, metals down 10%. SECO down 9%. Added a bit to SMCI and HGraph. All right, my man. Good old SMCI. Yep. Yep. Hey, a lot of people over here thought they would go out of business, right? But we know what we know. And then look. Boom! 150% run up. Should still be good, man. Should still be good. Like I told you guys, I even had that little debate with Grok on X. And I said, yeah, okay, you're saying whatever you're saying, but give me another tech name bringing in this kind of revenue with this kind of market cap. And even Grok was like, oh yeah, there's no names out there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Meanwhile, in one day, we take Dell from 300 to freaking 480 or whatever the hell happened. Yeah, all right, yeah. You gonna tell me there's no value here? Value, crazy? Value, killing me or what? Huh? You're killing me or what? SB chilling, as is tradition. Well, the good news is, even if we got the calls wrong today, I did mention... Oh, there goes the keyboard. I did mention USO calls. And obviously oil's still down 3%, but they say there's always a positive to take from something, so I guess that's good for you guys who have to put gas in your car. Right? See? I'm trying to be positive about it. I mean, it's 2 o'clock. Here we go. Here we go. I'm telling you, it's coming. Again, as I said, I may have been early, but I really don't think I'm wrong. And even when I first started calling it, well, actually, no, that's a lie. I initially said something like over here, and we completely fell off. But even like around here, when I was talking about the rebound, I mean, since then, you can see how it's held up and slowly began to step up. So that's why I think it's like we had to bring everything down because we technically, in theory, got a positive report, dollar strengthens, right? So everything pulls back in a little bit of value. But, in my opinion, also, in this last hour or two, because we had good jobs report and a strong dollar, I believe the end-all narrative is more positive than people think. So I don't know if we're going to go from red to green. I mean, 3.25% drop on the NASDAQ here. I don't know if we're going to have that much strength to rally back, but like down at 1,000 points here, like you'd be surprised. We can rally back up. We can rally back up bigly. And we can only end up down, 20, 30 points. We can only end up down on the NASDAQ to 300 points, So, the Dow, again, hit highs yesterday and is down the least. So if we do start to have the buying and the big boys coming in now, buying up these dips now going into next week, then yeah, I think we still have the rebound here. Why you keep asking me the same question? You asked me that question in Discord. I gave you an answer. Did I not? What, are you kidding me or what? These people are crazy, man. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Emba. Love me some Emba. Looks like we have potential inverse head and shoulders too, maybe setting up. I mean, if we see a bounce and a surge back up here, if we break down and go back lower, then obviously that's not the pattern. But I am not worried, in my opinion. Good old Ember. Doop 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 doo 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 doo. Scooby dooby doo ba ba. Ba ba da ba dee beep beam beam. It depends which semi, bro. But yeah, I mean, you do have some big pullbacks. I mean, I guess you could add. Everybody's in a different boat. Yeah, MU's a little overvalued, brother. They brought that market cap up to 1 trillion real quick. So that's what I mean. These stocks like beeline straight up and rally a continued 100, 200%. And then, there's a day like today where they pull back 5%, 7%, and people are like, "Oh, buy the dip, buy the dip." It's like in theory you could, if you suspect that everything's going to go back to business as usual next week. If there's any chance we continue to pull back and sell off, if the dollar wants to continue to rise going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then you might be screwed. Yep. Oh, yeah. Spark them if you got them. That considers a subscription model. 200 a month. Damn. Damn. Don't tell me they're going to bring it out till Monday, man. Come on, kryptonite. What? Mr. Schwartz. Market's big red, but we're all still here, alive and breathing. Today was a good day. Alright, guys, do me a favor. At least like the stream. Come on. Come on. Help a guy out, man. Help me help you. Help me help you. Yeah, Hydrograph is a beast, man. I would really like to see it, especially on a day like today. I would really like to see a big surge here in the last couple hours going into the close. But that might just be wishful thinking. But yeah, no, I like him, but I agree with you. I saw you, I think I saw you on X or whatever. But yeah, I agree with you on that. I like it, man. I like it. And again, 180, I mean, this really doesn't seem like an issue. You know, they just broke it down to like 160. So I know it sucks that you bought it and then it dropped. That does suck. But again, more of a longer term play. And even just the other day, again, down here you could see initiated by Lucid. They gave it a $4 price target. So that's what I mean. That's why even if a couple of sales come in, we already got Ryan Secure's first North Carolina healthcare system. That's what I mean, you know, as these people come on board and again, even if everyone just tries it out, right? Think about it. Think about how many businesses, if you will, I guess, you know, launched a product and they may have done well and been successful just because everyone wanted to try one. Or most people, you know, just bought one to test it out. Like, that's what I mean. That's why even on like a trial basis, easily getting back to 4 and change where it was, and again going up to this other trend line here, which would be like $6, conservatively, I really do think it's a layup. The Johnnies are gonna pile into this one down the road. I'm telling you. I'm pretty confident in this one. Gives the doctor more freedom, less radiation. Then they were worried about the pricing, but then it wasn't an issue because they were still buying it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why they're hiring in Israel now. Okay, there you go. I don't know. Like I said, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt right now, you know. I know that guy came out, somebody's freaking brother-in-law wrote some freaking hit piece. And I feel like again, like this is such like a small, currently under the radar stock. So like why would you even take the time to write that report? That's what I'm saying. Like it's not even worth it. Like not at this stage. Like if the stock starts running up to $6, $7, $8 while they're not really making big sales, then your short report would make sense, right? Oh, why is everyone pumping this stock up, thinking they're doing something big? You know, it's disposable, it's too expensive, right? That the timing of the report would make much more sense. But as we know, even had a bunch of people again comment like on the videos and to me on X again. Shout out to this person, Perspective Wellness. But a bunch of people all saw that they were just kind of trying to beat it up. A lot of people, again, we were looking for them to potentially bring it down to about this 1.5 mark. But either which way, I do believe, in my opinion, I think you just give them a little bit of time, and I think it'll start climbing to a couple of bucks. And then again, it's your call. If you really, if you're really sitting there like, oh, I don't know, like, are they really gonna grow? Like, if it really bothers you that much, then take the money and run. Apparently, markets are pulling back even lower. Nasdaq now at lows of the day. Looks like we're potentially setting up a drop here as well. We just bottomed out. S&P lows of the day. All right, really bad calls today by me. I gotta learn. We figured this out a while ago, right? It's like, why try to trade index options on Friday, bro? Why? Why? Such a joke. All right, thanks for stopping by, man. Anytime. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Max Payne, good game right there. Yeah, so gold and silver went lower while oil's trying to go higher. This is interesting. Dollar continuing to chug along. That surprises me, honestly. That surprises me. I mean, again, I had the trend lines and stuff, like, I get it, but just to continue and just... Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I disagree. But we all know that doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. You could disagree with what you're seeing till the cows come home. And there's just some guy sitting there up in a penthouse just pushing the sell button, laughing his ass. Telling you. Well, if you bought calls, your time of death is about 2:15. Well, the good news is, if there was anything you had your eye on, I mean, I guess it's a day like today, right? If you want it, if you want it, yeah, I mean, again, I don't know, man. They're not really pausing the dollar at all. Oil staying above 90.30. See that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd really chase anything. Yeah, and I mentioned something like West because they just pulled it back the other day, right? And now a day like today, that's what I mean. It's kind of like hanging out. It's still green, and we have again, potential little channel lining up. Looking for a pop up to 9 plus. So that's why I mentioned when RDS before, like, oh, anything you like here, anything on sale. It's like right now, I'd say maybe something like this, because everything else, again, shout out again the other person, cynical, who came in, oh, MU. It's like that stock ran up so much, you can still buy it today, right down to trend line, but it just gapped up. I mean, there's no guarantee it bounces. You know what I mean? So you can wake up tomorrow, you could be down another 7, 8, 10%. Monday, whatever. Yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Just since, the market started climbing again going into May, I mean, the stock's up freaking 1,200%. I mean, that's insane. It's insane. On the pullback, right? The high was 1,100. It sold off, and it's down another 11%. And the market cap is still $1 trillion. And that's what I mean. Like, they go up like escalators and they go down like elevators. And something like this, you can step in now and then all of a sudden we sell off, you're back here. And you're like, holy shit, I own the stock at 900, it's back at 4. Oh my God, how long is this going to take? I mean, listen, they're growing like a weed. We know that. The whole sector, again, we knew this. We knew this. That's why, again, you can go back to all the old videos and streams. I mean, essentially, it was a layup, the tech sector. NVIDIA, they took to the moon before we really started snowballing with all this AI news, and now everyone's bringing in much more revenue than analysts expect, right? So, NVIDIA explosion happened leading up to that, and that's why, again, you can go back and all I said simply, you could probably buy any tech company as long as it's not NVIDIA, and you're probably going to make money. And you name it, they're up. Again, IBM, they brought it up to over 300, sold it off for the last couple of months, and now, boom, just like that. Just like that, we're back up here, new high, 332. 332. All of them, of course. AMD, you guys saw recently. Again, I mean, just ridiculous. Same thing. 190, 200 and change. Next thing you know, 550. That's what I mean. Like stocks never used to rally 150% in a month or two. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild, bro. That's wild. And see, something like AMD even looks like it's setting up to go lower here. We may fall even further here in the last 90 minutes. Which is wild. I mean, again, the NASDAQ down almost 4% here. And we're not even really wedging or anything. We're just kind of slipping. We're just slipping. Hang out for a minute, catch our footing, slip. Hang out for a minute, catch some footing, slip. Which again is very surprising, especially with Trump coming out with that tweet. Because you would think that would add a little bit of momentum. But I do think they took a lot of these big tech names to the moon. And it may not necessarily be like an AI bubble, like 2000 or, 2008. It may just be kind of like a slow bleed, kind of like a slow sell-off. Where on days like today, big money is trying to exit and take profits, and little money, like you guys, are seeing, oh, MU's down 10%, I'll buy the dip. right? So you're giving them your liquidity while they're getting out, and now they're potentially looking to rotate it into another sector and another couple of companies. And meanwhile, you bought up here, and now we could sell off down here. You know what I'm saying? That's why anytime a stock would run up like that, I would always be hesitant. Always, always, always. And a lot of them do look great in the numbers, but a lot of them are heavily overvalued. That's why even when I went back, a year or two ago, and I was looking at all the big brand tech names, and that's why I said, like, based on the actual business and revenue that these companies are bringing in, something like Google, something like Amazon, those were technically the cheaper names. All the other names, your Apples, like they were already at the moon, you know what I mean? And that's why days like today, as I mentioned in the past, those names that get floated up to Cloud 11, those are the ones that are going to take the hits and come down the first and the fastest. Soundhound, it actually breaks my heart because it entered my mind yesterday, and I actually looked at it. I looked at it yesterday, and I just knew it was going down. It was setting up. I was about to say sound puts, and then I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth it. And I mean, obviously everything's selling off, but sound, I have a feeling they pull it back even further. I really do have a feeling they pull it back even further. I think it gets back here to 6. And if you really look at this triangle that we were watching, and then we had the breakup and out, I mean, it really took a while to even get close back to that range, really. So I still believe there's long-term value here. I still do believe long-term over the years, Soundhound could become a beast, an absolute beast. Again, audio AI company, Soundhound. Yeah, I think that the whole tech sector pretty much is just going to start slowly coming back down to earth. Your Nvidias, your Microns. Again, I mean, the business, the sector is booming like crazy. I'm not knocking the companies. I'm just knocking their valuations. And that's why I think I think they're going to make tech, quote unquote, a little real again. Because remember, it's like, right, if we look at it from like a casino lens, through a casino lens, if you just sat down for the last whatever and you were playing blackjack and you just made a couple of $100,000, you came in, sat down with $5,000, now all of a sudden you have $100,000. What does the casino want to do? The casino now needs to try to get some of that money back from you. Yeah, now the NASDAQ tech across the board just taking a big hit today, so it'd be very hard for pretty much any tech company to really stay strong or stay up. Rivian, big drop. I mentioned Rivian puts the other day. It went up first, but I mean, again, a day like today obviously helps, so I don't even know if I could count that as a win. Oil. And look at silver. Gold and silver now just slipping. Gold down almost 3.5%. Silver down almost 8%. And mind you, again, like, I get it in theory, right? Dollar goes up, metals go down. But 3.5% and 8% for a dollar up 0.6%? It just seems like a very drastic move. and I love them, but you know, a good report today and a stronger climbing dollar does not relieve the devaluation of the currency fact and the hedge of real true value against that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. On paper, in theory, they could fucking drop at 8%, 18% right now. I don't give a shit. I still firmly believe, in my opinion, that silver will, gold as well. I think they're going to explode. I think they're going to explode. And you're going to see gold 6, 7, 8,000 an ounce. And you're going to see silver back up 100, 150, potentially 200 an ounce. Because again, they made it seem like it was no big deal and it was a random surge out of nowhere. But again, we were looking at silver, what, back at 24, 27, 30, 33 an ounce, talking about the breakup. And it went to 50, and then it went to 70, and then it just didn't stop, right? 80, 110, 125 an ounce, whatever the hell it went. That's what I mean. That's an extreme breakup and out. So, you know, we know what we know. It's funny, we were talking about tech names that are holding up and not falling off a cliff. Look at DraftKings right there, 2%. 2%. That's how you know it's a wild day. Market's selling off huge, big red. Look at this, 1,200, 500 points. And what's holding up decently? DraftKings. That's how you know we're in the upside down today. Now I'm loving it. Here comes the oil. That's why when everyone kept posting on the way up, even just over the last week or two, oh, crazy day for the markets, best rebound in 8 years, biggest move for the S&P in 12 years, right? What I say? Every time I see that, I say, it's bullshit, it's up too much, we're up too much, we shouldn't be up this much. Even when I would mention, because again, they're mostly just for a quick trade, right? For the most part. But even if I mention like SPY calls and we climb, right? It's usually a quick flip, make a couple of bucks for everybody. But we've been talking about just the ridiculous state of this market for years. For years. All you got to do is go back and look at the rate at which we continue to climb, break up, and hit new highs across the board under Biden, when technically he was doing everything wrong and a lot of negative on paper. But again, it didn't seem to matter. And not even with his policies. Even when we got the economic data, remember? It didn't seem to matter. Nothing seemed to matter. It just didn't seem to matter. Yeah, PD was a good one. Well timed going into those earnings. Yeah, it's only down 2%. Dang. Yeah, this one looked good. I don't know, yeah, I don't know, like, what your strike is and what your date is, how much time you have, but could bounce back. As long as you don't have another, like, really red day like this, then it really should bounce back, because it's not tremendously overvalued, in my opinion. and they just came off of strong earnings, and it's a smaller, under the radar stock with less eyes on it. You know what I mean? So it's checking a lot of boxes. So something like PD, I'd give the benefit of the doubt, but anything can happen, as we know. And this was nice, though. From 7 and change up to almost 11. Really good move. Boomers are out there singing Queen, baby. I want it all, and I want it now. We also had CXW, which I just did a video on. Hit new 52-week highs today, as expected. Woo, look at that, baby. 23.43. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Why does it taste so sweet? You know what you're seeing here? Can't keep a good man down. All day, day. Day. Yep, taking a big hit today. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is technically below the bottom. I mean, again, as I said, I showed the path. Gonna see a little bounce, and then it really should drop big and break. I mean, all you had to do was listen. All people had to do was listen. But no one listens. Ah. Bah, humbug. But yeah, I spoke about this one. Mentioned it in Discord. For all the cheap bastards out here that don't think I'm worth $3 a month. It was in my recent members only video. All you need to do is pay attention, buddy. Respectfully, if some of the wealthiest people in the wealthiest country in the world that I used to speak to could hear me clearly and take me seriously, I'm sure you could figure it out on your end. Since we know place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Ready for the 250. Bro, that's just noise, bro. Not even worth speaking about. It's all noise. Damn. Damn. Yeah, so I don't know who was talking about, oh, the market's going to rebound and was being all positive before. That guy's an idiot. Bunch of bums out here. We need, like, big news right now. This just in, the U.S. buys China. Imagine. Bang. That would shoot up the market. This is why you gotta laugh about it, man. This is why you gotta laugh about it. That's why every time the market would go up, right, on nonsense, I would always freaking say, man, this is not good. Gotta be careful. This is not good. But a lot of stocks did really climb big just over the last month or two. So I'm sure even if people's positions are taking a big hit, even something like an MU, I'm sure people are still up. So it's not that big a deal. It's just not the ideal way to cap off the week. Again, the week seemed pretty solid, seemed pretty strong. Again, markets, even when they were going down, they were trying to fight back. They did fight back on occasion and go green. You know, it's just not the Friday you wanted to cap off the week, but it happens. Seeing the VIX spike again. Shout out to the VXX crew. I always bring up VXX again. That is the so this tracks the volatility of the S&P 500. No, well, this is showing. Oh my goodness! Look, see, they changed. I gotta just the U.S. Just give me the U.S. for crying out loud. I can't see VXX. Can't see VXX. It's not U.S. See, that's why I hate change, man. I hate change. People always change their shit, and I can't stand it. It's like I use it because of the way it is. If you start changing it, it's not the way it was anymore. Right? Does that make sense? So to me, I like it less. All right. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate your time. Have a good weekend. Oh, it's on stocks. Ah, silly rabbit. So yes, this is what I was talking about. And this tracks the S&P 500, the volatility on the S&P 500. And you can see, of course, big drop on the S&P, big spike up in the volatility on the S&P. VXX up over 6.5% right now. And of course, slowly over time, right, you can see slowly over time as the market wants to grow in value and be less volatile, you have these big longer term sell-offs. And then when you have a day, a week, a month like today, that's where you have your spikes, right? And this is why, again, it seems like holding a position like this is just bleeding. But sometimes it's worth it to grab it, especially when things seem too good to be true, right? Everyone's talking about, oh, how great everything. Oh, have you seen MU? Have you seen AMD? Right? You go get a haircut. The barber's talking, bro, look at my account, bro. This is crazy. I'm making 18 grand just standing here. Yep. That's a bad sign. Look at that. First drop. That's a clean break. First drop below the 20-day moving average. Again, I'm looking at a 1-day time frame, looking at a 1-year chart on the S&P. Look at that. That is the first time being below the moving average in 2 straight months. We didn't even retest the sumbitch. right? Which means if we do see a clean break back to this trend line here, we could see about another 100-point sell-off, it looks like, on the S&P. So, might be a rough Monday, Tuesday as well. But again, we'll see. We'll see what the dollar wants to do. And apparently, as we know, we have to wait and see what everyone in control and every world leader does over the weekend, because if someone says something or fires something, or that's it, right? That changes the whole direction of the market for the next couple of days, or until Trump tweets something back. I guess the pen is mightier than the sword. I'm charging everyone $250 exactly. So you better sign up. Give them your address and get you one of them $250 Trump bills. I'm gonna stack those up, man. Of course, brother, I got you. You gotta have fun with it, man. You gotta have fun with it when you have days like today. Otherwise, you go insane. It did seem like we saw a little bounce back in oil. I'm telling you, I think they're gonna climb oil going into the weekend, man. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. What's going on the old X? Oh, yeah, pride. Yeah, we got a lot of pride. Bonanza. Respect. Common sense. Yeah, did you guys see that again? They apparently voted down the Save America Act again. And they polled average Americans, and pretty much the majority of the entire country feels that you should show at least, oh yeah, here's my ID, to go vote. Since apparently you need your ID to do like almost everything freaking else around now all of a sudden. But apparently to vote for, oh, who do you want to be mayor? Who do you want your senator to be? Who do you want your president to be? It's like, oh, you could just walk in, no problem. Right? But if I want, oh, a bottle of this, give me a pack of the smokes, ID, ID, ID. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some news, some updates over the weekend, and I'm sure they'll bounce this back Monday. But yeah, a lot of those big names, I mean, they really took to wild valuations in my opinion. So that's why, again, if you have, core positions in them that you've been holding for years already, and you're holding, Apple or Google or something, then yeah, I understand, hang on for the ride. But anyone like in the short term, like the people who jumped in Micron at old highs at 700 a share, who woke up just a couple of weeks later and then it was at over 1,000 a share. Like, in my opinion, those people, like, those profits have to be locked in. Those profits have to be locked in. But yeah, they're gonna bounce the market back, bringing it right down to the psych level 7,400. Wow, look at this, we're just falling. We are just dropping. Nasdaq down almost 4.5%. S&P down almost 2.5%. Dividend Dow components holding up well, obviously, with a rising stronger dollar, right? Hershey, Verizon, PM. Dividend payers holding up well. Metals taking hits, minerals, commodities. And you know, notice how the dollar stopped, right? And I was saying how I have the trend line up there at 100.4. And we just hit 100.1 and then essentially paused for the most part. I mean, I technically hit it here, but we got up to that range and you know what I'm saying? See, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to continue to spike up the dollar. And I actually do think the dollar should really sell off going into the close, into this last 60, 70 minutes, because they want to climb oil, right? As you see, they want to climb oil. But you can't climb oil and continue to raise the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Something's got to give. S&P sub 7,400. What a day. What a day. President Trump. Average Americans can't afford to go to that game. You can watch it on television. Yeah. Like, it makes me laugh, like the way they say, oh, average Americans can't afford. Okay, and next year with the Super Bowl, whatever, in frickin' Hawaii or something, you know what I mean? Can I afford to buy a plane ticket and stay at a hotel for a couple of days and spend thousands on the ticket? No, I can't. No, I can't. So what the hell are we talking about here? Like, oh, this guy's a schmuck. He's going to the basketball game. The hell? No average American could go to any of these games. Who we bullshitting? Panic sell-off. Yeah, like I said, I really do think everything's gonna bounce back next week. Maybe they can dip it again Monday a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. I really don't see the reasoning. Again, unless larger money is exiting now at the highs, going into their cash, and waiting for either a big geopolitical announcement involving the Middle East, Iran, right? Something big. Oh yeah, that's it. Everything's over. The whole conflict's coming to an end, right? Boom. That would make everyone start buying again. Or IPO. People could just be waiting for IPOs. It'll be a mixture of things. Carp, gonna say good stuff. Okay. Yeah, give him the benefit of the doubt. Look at that NASDAQ, man. Up 50% in the last 12 months. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, again, the rising dollar, you know, if they want to pull the commodities and the metals back and the stocks back, you know, again, understandable, but overall, if the jobs report was strong, I was expecting this to happen back here. And you can see we got back up to this trend line here that I drew out. I mean, this is going all the way out till November of the end of the year. But I was just pointing out like this flattening, this topping out that we were seeing with the dollar. And I was expecting a break up and out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we may begin to bigly sell off. But I like a lot of our names because again, I tried to do a little value hunting out there. I tried to look for names that were not overinflated in value and nobody was really talking about yet. So I still like a lot of the names. Should be alright. My opinion. Think everything will be alright. Spring and fall, looking for the big pumps. Summer and winters, when it dumps. Oh yeah. Big money selling all their positions to go on vacation. Wow, look at this guy sending me gold coins. Alright, bruh. I see you, Joe. I see you. Yeah, I'm like freaking Da Vinci out here. Who you kidding, bro? Top 5 in the world. Yeah, Nokia? I don't know, man, because it did kind of just go straight up. I mean, it looks almost just like the NASDAQ or the S&P, right? So, this is why, again, with it running up so much, like, it can easily pull back to, like, here. You know? It could keep dropping 3, 4 more points. Pull back to 11, 10, 8, and then bounce. It seems drastic, but remember, even at $8, it's technically up. Up over 100%. So, issuing the notes here obviously doesn't help. So you got to see if it holds about 1378, 1370 and change. Right? And you can see, right? If they want to pull it back now and calm it down and sell it off, look at the bottom, June 17th, right? So that's what I mean. If they want to cool it off now and calm it down for the next week or two, not only will they slowly bring it down to support, which could then justify a bounce back up, but it would also gap fill right there, as you can see. Blackberry, I like Blackberry. Blackberry. I like it. Saw some large equity buying it. July 17. Yeah, that all right. So maybe so if they know something, then maybe you'll see another slight dip here, and then it'll bounce back up over the next couple of weeks going into these earnings. Right? Because what'd you say, July 17th? So that's a week before the earnings here, it looks like roughly. Unconfirmed. What's GSIT at today? I don't know. Wonder if BlackBerry hold like this long term, retrace all the way back down. No, in my opinion, it's not going to retrace all the way back down. Men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. They do not lie. Oh my goodness, look at that freaking call, bro. Damn, I'm good at this shit. Mm, mm, mm. Hold on, actually, I need something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay. It's a BB. I like the BB. Yep. Yep. 'Actually, let me see something here. Nope, I keep doing that. I keep doing it. Hmm. Hmm. 7. Hmm. 780. Hmm. Yeah, they might bring it back to about $8. I do still like it though. Market's getting beaten up. Oh, hydrograph. Yeah, and when I zoom in on the 1 day, it shows your month. Over 100,000 shares above average volume. Yeah, in my opinion, if it pulls back, if BlackBerry pulled back to 8 or started to break that line and go it to like 770 or whatever we were looking at, like I'd probably be a buyer in my opinion. But again, it's already up several hundred percentage points, so I'm already an animal. Who's an animal, Larry? Who's an animal? And we're free, free falling. And we're free, free falling. Very nice. Falling in a free falling in. Red-Rum, Red-Rum. Ooh, look at that Bitcoin, huh? What happened? Look what they did to my Bitcoin. Oh, man. I bet people are pissed. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, broke straight through that line. Never looked back. Damn. People are worried their stocks are down, huh? Look at that. Look at that. Might go back to 50, maybe even lower. That is not cool. Look at the S&P though, just rage. Wow. We're just going. Broke that crap straight down. Looks like it might go to 50. Oh man, that's rough. That is rough. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it bottoms out soon. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Sub 73.70 on the S&P. Yep, this is quite a day. This is quite the day. And this sucks. Hmm. And they're gonna. Oh, Yep. Do we have enough momentum? We have enough momentum. Dollar's not pulling back enough. They're buying, man. They're buying. They're buying. They're buying. Late day rally. Late day rally. I gotta cut my hair, bro. I feel like fucking Shaggy. Scooby Doo. Zoinks like, hey, Scoob. This if they break this, it's gonna be blast off. And I feel like they want to. All right. Well, I'm bored. It's Friday. I just don't want to sit here anymore. And as I say that, we start climbing. All right. Well, hang on a second. Hold on. Hang on a minute with you guys. It's so hot in this room too. Look at this. Up, up, up. Maybe, I don't know. Again, you gotta. I don't know if that dollar's gonna break. Hmm. It does look like calls, though, honestly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get your calls here. On the move again. On the move again. Up, 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 up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here they come, boys and girls. Hmm. Spider. Ice cream truck. Oh, ooh, oh, oh. Closes below it. Rejected. Oop. Oh, oh. Here come the Stucks. Oh, rejected. Sir, I told you they couldn't help themselves. Oh, S&P back at 7,400. Yes, sir. The keyboard. Oh, rejected. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh, there she comes. 7430 maybe? Could we do it? Dollar dipping. S&P 7410. Oh, damn. Oof, good old PayPal. Well, you had a little bit of a rebound. Got up to 74.10. It's just too bad it didn't happen 4 hours ago, right? That would have helped us. Son of a bitch. DraftKings. Holding up like a beast. You know they're going to start moving, making all these moves right after the close, right? Son of a bitch. Mm-mm. The way the cookie crumbles, my friends. We did not. We did not really get any action today with Hydrograph. Well, maybe over the weekend, maybe Monday, Tuesday. We'll see. But that's it for me. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I know it was a pain in the ass red day, but hopefully everyone's head is still above water. Everyone hopefully still has some nice profits in a bunch of positions. So stay positive, but yeah, appreciate your time, appreciate your support. Enjoy your weekend, get some R&R. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.